Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Phoenix Draconis coming with you with another customization review. Now this is basically a customization review for Earthrise Arcee. Now for anyone who has watched the last couple of videos I did not give her vehicle mode a whole lot of fanfare. As a matter of fact, not for lack of trying, mind you. I've seen so many reviews of there. The biggest and major complaint has been this backpack right here. And yeah, it has not met with a whole lot of fanfare. I'm not going to repeat what I've said before. If you want to know, look back at the previous video. Now, it was... I'm trying to remember if it was through one of the other Transformer websites. I think... No. I remember now. It was through a link in Facebook on one of the Transformer pages that I became privy to this set right here. Now, this set is supposed to show, or at least bring, the shoulder pylons that Arcee had in her robot mode from the G1 cartoon. So I wound up contacting a friend of mine who had a 3D printer, and he was kind enough to go ahead and print these out for me. Now they're a little rough, and there were certain areas I had to go ahead and basically take an X-Acto knife and just shave away here and there. Some of the filaments are still there, but I'm thinking once I paint them, that should negate that. But this is what you're going to be getting. Oh, sorry. There we go. As you can tell, like I said, they're a little rough. So there we go. So I'm hoping that once I paint these, they'll look a little bit better. And you can see some of the filaments from the material that was used to make these. But these are supposed to go on her back. And these are the individual pieces right here. Now, if you wish to go ahead and get a set of your own, I will be putting in the link to where I got these from in the description down below. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how are you going to remove the backpack? Well, as you can see, and I'm going to try and bring that just as close as I can, there is a pin right here. So I'm going to go ahead and get a small nail and a hammer and tap that out to where it's out enough so I can get a pair of pliers and pull the rest out. So this process is going to take some time. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on there. In addition to putting that the shoulder pylons on her, another thing that I'm also going to be doing is also completing the paint job that Hasbro should have done on the back of her bikini and on the top of her around her neck crest. That again, I'm becoming very, very disappointed with how Hasbro details a lot of these figures. If it's not a specialized one or whatever, the regular market stuff, they'll just go ahead and just do a half-assed job. And that's how come we're going down this route, because that back piece is just not cutting it. So nonetheless though, give me a few minutes while I go ahead and do some surgery on this figure, and I'll be right back. Alright. Alright everyone, thank you for holding. I do appreciate your patience. And unfortunately, I had a little bit of an issue with the removal of the backpack. And I had to go ahead and bring in my trusty X-Acto knife. And what I wound up doing, I'm going to show you right now. So I wound up cutting along where that metal peg is. So now she basically has that. It's all shaved off, basically. It still has the little white bar, but it will never be able to be used again. Not that it's going to be much of a use anyway, because again, this will not be put back on. I'm going to be going ahead and making her this. So I essentially turned my Transformer into an Action Master, like I said I was going to do. So what I'm going to do right now is show you what will be done. So as you can see from the back, I'm going to go ahead and basically complete the paint job that Hasbro failed to do, which is the bikini bottoms that are along the waist. In addition, the little collar on her back, and probably I'll wind up painting the neck area here. But in addition, I am going to go ahead and paint this area here and here. So let's see. Now there is that little white joint right there, which I'm going to go ahead and test out right now. Now granted, these aren't all one piece, these are in several pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And yeah, I still may need to go ahead and try and cut this damn thing out, because based off of the design as well as what I'm seeing here, oops, get my finger out of the way, what I am seeing here, these two grooves have to fit right on these two little shoulder ports. So I need to go ahead and go back in with the X-Acto knife and continue the process. So give me a moment. I was able to get the rest of that. Now I had to go ahead and ask a neighbor for a pair of wire cutters for me to wiggle it out, but one of the first things I needed to do was shave off that white piece that was on there. Let's see here. So this is what we're going to do here. We're just going to go ahead and test out the pieces that my friend Marco had printed up. And speaking of which, let me do a special shout out to Marco, who was gracious enough to get these printed up for me. So dude, you fucking rock, man. I really appreciate this. Now I know that when he saw the site and the file, he thought it was cool, but he was kind of confused because he thought that it was for the full figure, because that's what it showed. But no, this is for the backpack. So, and I have to say, I am liking the way it looks. Let's go ahead and turn her around. That is nice. Oh yeah, that is awesome there, man. Wow. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do next, because this is basically a before and after shot here. So you're seeing all the pieces together as it comes out, and so this is the before shot. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this piece apart, and I'm going to go ahead and basically paint the individual pieces. Now while that's drying, I'm also going to go ahead and paint what Hasbro failed to fucking do originally. That was to paint the bikini bottoms, the waist area, as well as the back of her collar back here. In addition, I will also go ahead and paint her neck. So just give me a moment and I will be right back. A little bit of an update. Now, I had found some extra pylons that my friend had put on there, and this apparently is a second set, which includes peg holes to where you can put a weaponizer on there. Now, because it is, well, let me see if I can. Now, granted, this is not. Alright, I'm not sure if you're able to see it, but using my trusty paintbrush here, there is a peg hole here, and there is. Yep, I accidentally took off the wrong base. There it is. So, there is a peg hole right there. And come on. Focus, there you go. Now it's looking a little rough, so I may go ahead and try and sand that down before painting. But as you can tell, you know, that is for if you wanted to hook up a weaponizer. Oops. Come on. Up there. Well, the hell with it. So basically, that is why these particular pieces are showing up. So I figure I'd go ahead and show that off to you. I am going to go ahead and sand this down, and so it won't look as rough. And we'll see how it's going to show up on there. Now, as you can tell, I've already started the painting process. I'm going to let it dry before I put in another coat, so I can go ahead and at least get these pink pieces here, you know, painted. And this is before I go ahead and start painting her cybernetic panties and her gray midriff there. And then, you know, we'll go ahead and go on from there. Yeah, so, in the meantime, let me get back to it, and I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so here's a little bit of an update right now. As you can tell, I have taken a cue from Rodimus Primal, and I've gone ahead and painted her feet. Now, this is like I want to say the first, no, I'd say about the second coat that I have done. And let me see if I can, there we go. And I'm trying to do the inside, so it is getting there. Now, just as you can tell, I'm just checking to see how it's going. I know I'm probably gonna leave some scuff marks from my fingers. At the same time, I am also taping up along the bikini line. Now, I went ahead and I have painted the pink parts. Now, I'm not all that much of a customizer to begin with. I wound up painting this part as well to avoid it smearing onto her pink chromium panties over here. So far so good. Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually touching her, so the paint on my own fingers have already dried. Now, if anyone has seen Rodimus Primal's review, when he did his customization, he also painted this gray piece at her ankle, which I may wind up doing myself too. Now, the thing that I probably won't do, and you'll probably see it on his review as well, where he wound up cutting off this back piece for the 5mm port. I'm not going to do that. I am starting to go ahead and start painting the pieces individually, so I'm waiting for the paint to dry so I can go ahead and just coat a pink all around. Now, for the pink, I wound up painting, or I should say mixing up some some magenta, and some white. Now the thing about it is the white is not flat. It is, let's see if I can get it on here. There we go. It is a gloss, so it's not flat, but it seems to do the job nonetheless. So I got a nice shade of pink on here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. Now I know it looks a little rough. This is the one to where the piece to where you can put a weaponizer if you so want. Honestly, I'm not all that fond of the weaponizer gimmick, so I may just go ahead and put these flat pieces on there. So other than that, that is my current update. So I'm going to go ahead, get back to work, and I will catch you guys in a little bit. Okay folks, thank you for your patience in waiting while I go through this process of the painting and stuff. And as you can tell, the pieces have already dried, and so I'll be piecing these together in a moment. However, I do want to show you what I have done in terms of customizing Arcee herself. Now we'll start off with the feet, and as you can tell, they have been painted. Her feet are painted white. There is a couple of splotches of pink still on there, but I'll probably take care of that later. There's that gray piece on her ankles, which turned out very, very nice. On the back, which is what I had a lot of gripes with, I painted along the backs of her upper calves, her titanium bikini, and her mid section here. Now there was some bleed here where I wound up trying to go at it with white, but since I am kind of shaky in my old age nowadays, it kind of bled on there. But that won't be much of a problem, seeing as how I'm going to be putting on that backpack. So all in all, this was a very, very good attempt at customization of this figure. So I'm going to go ahead and take the back pieces, start gluing them together, and then we'll go ahead and continue on. So give me a moment to go ahead and glue these together, and we'll check it out. Now all the paint has dried, and I am now going to be piecing this together. Now I've already selected the back shoulder pieces that are going to go into the metal section here. So put that like so here. Now you're probably wondering, because all this was originally white, just like this top portion there, and you're probably wondering, why didn't I paint this? Well, because number one, if you've ever seen the character design for the G1 Arcee, this portion, and yes, I am pulling off the little fibers on here, excuse me, the top portion of that is supposed to be white. So, like so. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that all this is on here, getting rid of whatever remaining hairs or fibers or whatever you want to call them. And there we go. Okay, so alright, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to piece this all together with some crazy glue. So considering that this, it's not going to take too long. I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of it. If I can squeeze it out of there. Okay, hold on. God, I hope it didn't dry up on me. That would suck. Okay. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same on the other one. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to let that sit for a couple of minutes. Or for a few seconds, since it's supposed to like super glue, bond almost instantly, and hopefully I won't get sued for that. Okay. So now, got a question for you all, and hopefully you all can help me with that. So, is there any way to where I can dip these brushes and get this paint off? Because regular soap and water is not going to work. So if you all have any suggestions, leave me an answer in the comment section down below, please. I really appreciate it. Anyway, moving on. That should be more than enough time. And I am going to go ahead and tab this into the back. Now notice I did not tab any type of super glue on that tab there. But damn. Yeah, that is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put her in a type of mama bot pose. Oops. Accidentally hit the wrong button when I was trying to go ahead and photograph her. Alrighty, so damn, that is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and give you a type of rear profile. Now granted, the printing is still a little rough, but man, all in all, that looks fucking awesome. I mean, this is like the second time I've ever did a custom job with my figures. The first one being the Earthrise Optimus, which took several videos to complete the final process. But all in all, I mean, I think the first paint job I did was for around the eyes, since it was just a straight blue. And I did not have the courage to go ahead and just basically try to split the head apart so I can go ahead and just paint it without messing up the eyes. But other than that, there was also, the Toy Hacks labels, which was pretty simple. Then getting the upgrade kits for that one. Oh man. Wow. Alright, so give me a moment. I'm going to take some additional images I'm going to show off at the end of the video, as well as incorporate her new weapons that I had gotten through TF Safari. So stand by, I will be right back. Okay everyone, thank you for holding, thank you for waiting for me. And as you can tell, I have her posed up with both of her swords in the Ahsoka Tano, stance. So yeah, and damn, not to toot my own horn, I know there's a lot to improve on this, especially with my own limited skills. But I have to say, I'm very proud at what I was able to accomplish today. There were some bumps here and there, but in the long run, I think I made the right choice in this. Her robot mode already looks very G1 to begin with. It was just the backpack that basically was giving us a lot of issues. And I know I've said it so many times throughout this customization in my previous review. But it is what it is. I mean, and this is why a lot of us collectors, become customizers, because there is something on this figure that we don't like. We try to go ahead and basically try to modify the figure as is, but sometimes you have to go to this extreme and then just change it altogether. Hence, the 3D printed pylons. So I have to say, I'm very pleased with the way it came out. I'd like to thank, Rodimus Prime for basically giving me the inspiration to go ahead and make that initial leap. The first modification I did, which, as I mentioned earlier, was the Earthrise Optimus. I basically did a little hop on that, because the only thing I really had to do any type of paint on was his face, and I could have done better with that, but the third-party add-ons and the repo labels from Toy Hacks helped out a lot. Now with this one in particular, I probably could have waited for Toy Hacks to come up with repo labels and stuff, but the end result would have been I would have taken this leap anyway. So when I saw Rodimus Prime's review on his customization, it was at that time I also saw the link on Facebook, about the 3D printed pylons. So I went ahead and just said, the hell with it, let's go ahead and do it. And getting in contact with Rodimus via his YouTube page, I was able to find out how he was able to get that bar from that held that piece, but in the long run I had to cut it off because I just wasn't able to find any stability to where I can get a nail and a hammer to bang that out, not without wrecking the whole figure. So either way, it would have been a permanent change anyway, because I was not planning on putting that back piece back again. And then in addition, I'd like to go ahead and thank my good friend Marco Bernal, who was gracious enough to go ahead and 3D print this for me. The minute I sent him the link that had the file on there, he was able to download it, print them up, and he was able to get these to me. So I wound up getting two sets of the shoulder pylons, one for RC, and the other one more than likely is going to go to Elita 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at her design in the Transformers Siege series on Netflix, just to see how those pylons look, but I'm thinking they look the same way as well. The only difference is that it's going to be a different color. I think it's going to be more magenta than it is pink. So once I get the the figure, oh my god, it's been a long couple of days because this is how long it took me to do all this, and the longest part was the painting, waiting for it to dry and everything. So I mean, like I said, I'm very pleased with the work I did. Granted, there were certain areas that could have been better. I may look into investing in an airbrush to give it a much more even paint job for next time around for my future figures. But that's all I have to say on that. And in addition, with the third-party weapon set, she really rocks. At this point, I've got no complaints about her. Granted, she's no longer going to transform into vehicle mode. Like I said before, I turned her into an Action Master. But all in all, I like it. It is. I like what I've done with it. I have no regrets. So there she is. So let me ask you out there: has any of you taken this leap in terms of customizing your Earthrise Arcee? And if so, what were the end results? Leave me an answer or comment in the comment section down below. I want you to like, share, subscribe to this channel. Every subscription helps my channel immensely. I am still going to be trying to go for 100 subscriptions by the end of the year. So hopefully I will have that. In the meantime, if y'all have any suggestions on a cool prize that I can provide for the 100 subscriber, leave that in the description, or I should say leave that in the comment section down below. And if anyone wants to get these pylons for your own Earthrise Arcee, I will leave the link to that website in the description down below. So I'd like to thank you all for watching my video. This is Phoenix Draconis, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.